All right, folks. Let me see here. I don't know if my mic's on. Yep, my mic's on. Sorry about that. Welcome back to more fun fishing. We have pulled up to another spot. This is a spot the other day where I caught that big old honking red ear. Man, it's still trashy. So we're going to see what we can do. It may still take these fish several days to calm down after raising the water level this high. Let's see. Hey, Danny's got him one. Right off the point there. Yeah. Yeah, that's all right. That's a nice fish. Yeah. Catch him nice ones like that, just hang that dude in front of that phone. We were discussing a while ago how hard it is to try to be the director, cameraman, mic man, and everything out here by yourself. It's a lot harder than it looks. And try to give y'all a good show. Now, y'all won't believe this, but we may have this on camera. He's kind of out fishing me. Yeah, so he's enjoying it. Usually he's about there. He's back there putting them in the live well for me. So I'm like, yeah, we'll let him have his time. Enjoy it now. Oh, heck. That's why we're having fun. I'm going to try to turn that boat again so I can get you up there a little bit. Try this outer edge first, and then we may have to move up there a little shallower to see what we can get. He caught that fish back here in about 7 to 8 foot of water, which the other day, that 7 to 8 foot of water was about 3 to 4 foot deep. So these fish may not move up in that real super shallow water for a couple of days yet to make sure that the water level stays stable. But where this shelf is located at, we have some shallow water, but right off where this little flat here is, it drops off suddenly. So they have an escape route if this water goes down quickly. I'm going to turn this. Okay. Oh, there he is. Oh, yeah. Come on, big boy. Come on up out of that water. Oh, yeah. Come on. He got a face full of leaves. Oh, yeah. Check that out. That's a pretty fish. I'm getting a lot of requests, too. I'm going to show you again. That's what I'm using, y'all. Maybe you can see it a little bit better. My little jerry rig jig. Seems to be working good. And of course, like I said on my last video, haven't used much any other color. I made a ton of colors this last winter when everything was nasty, but haven't used them because this thing's been working so good. There you go. Yeah, they're right on that bottom, boy. Oh, this heavy fish. You know what's fun? When you do pull them out of that deeper water, man, they're a lot harder to get out. Yeah, look at that big blue. Man, that thing, size of my hand. Look at that. You know something? I think I'm fish hungry. Well, dadgum, you little devil. Come back here, don't make me chase you. There we go. Sir? Well, that one's going to get cornmeal on it. That's for sure. Cornmeal, lemon pepper, and deep fried. There he is. Yeah, they're there. They're just a little slower than man is. This is fun. Oh my land. Only problem with now is that cafeteria is open, so everybody up there can see us. Whoa! You think that other one was big? Check that thing out. Look at that, man. Ooh, come back, come back, come back. You hit that water, I'll dive in after you. I lost a cell phone in the water. Let me tell you something. I lose a fish like that, I'm diving in after him. I'm not gonna mess with the cell phone, but that fish I will. The only plus side about having that cafeteria there, those folks are watching us fish. But I can guarantee half of them are so drunk they're not gonna remember us catching anything anyway, so it's not that bad. Ooh. All right. Man, this is fun. A little slower than it has been. Like I said before in my last videos, these are so small lures that when you cast them out there to get them to the bottom where we're fishing at now, it's a lot deeper than it has been. You really have to be patient enough to let that lure fall all the way down, because these bluegill are down there where they were making those beds. So, man, they do pull when they get down in that deeper water. All right, Danny, I think I done caught up and passed you now. Yep, I'm not gonna let him. I'm not gonna let him outdo me, y'all. I'm not gonna do it. I think what I did give him a little false sense of security there. I have no mercy. Woo. It did feel good, didn't it? It did feel good. Oh, there he was. Those fish are there. Ooh. I'm going to kind of pull up a little bit and get you more into this area a little bit more. They are definitely on that bottom in this deeper water. All right, well, that's kind of a dry run. Whoa, no, it wasn't. He changed my mind. Oh, yeah, that's fun. That was when they were a little bit smaller. Yeah, he kind of changed my mind just a little bit there, didn't he? What I like to do a lot of times whenever I'm having to fish this deeper water like we are today, I mean, this is drastic change in last time I was up here. So I'll cast it out and I'll count to about 4, maybe 5. I'll make sure that jig gets down to that bottom. Then I'll just kind of work it a little bit. Now, if I was fishing with a bobber with this thing, I would want it up to be a little bit higher. That way I can adjust my depth. Jig fishing is a little bit deeper because I can actually adjust it as I'm reeling. If you're using a bobber, you only can set it for one depth, but it's still fun. It's just you got to give an account. I've been fishing like this. I've been using jigs like this for 30, maybe 40 years. I hate adding more years to it, but it's like, man, you know, people laugh when I tell them that I've been fishing since I was 5 years old. I mean, I grew up in a John boat. Oh, now grant you, whenever I fished at that age there, I used a cane pole or tied the line onto the end of a fly rod, and that's how I fished. I didn't fish much with stuff like this. Usually, if I'm fishing cypress trees, I'm going to be using a fly rod or a cane pole or some kind of a vertical jig type pole. Up here, spinning reels and spin cast reels are without doubt the best way to go because you can get back away from it cast. With a little bit of this distance, I have more control. I can change it just a drop of a hat of my presentation. Oh man. Now it is harder to set the hook on these fish when they're in the deeper like that. At more shallow water, you can just jerk tails off more. I'm sitting there talking. He done grabbed it right there. I mean, look, jerk that thing plumb off. These little bodies, whenever we take them, I brought a bag to put the bodies in, the used bodies. I'm gonna remelt these and recast them. Usually I just throw them away, and I didn't even think that I can remelt them. The good thing about making the black ones like this is no matter what color lure it is, whenever I melt it and I add black dye, it changes it to black. So, ooh. Every cast I've casted in there, I've had some kind of a hit. It might have been just a small little nub. I'm going to turn this boat, let you get up in here. There it is. See? Like I was saying on my last video, sometimes on these fish, you have to change your presentation sometimes. Sometimes they might not want it. Like today, I'm kind of bumping that thing just a little bit. And as I reel it back, I take my finger and I'm thumping that line. And of course, now I'm telling y'all that, but I didn't tell him that. So sometimes I'll take that finger and just kind of bump that line as I reel it, and it'll cause that little jig to bounce. You know, I think what I'm going to do, whenever I catch a few more like this, I'm going to change colors just for the heck of it, just to show y'all, to see if I can do it. But now the thing about it is fishing is a lot of confidence. You got to have confidence, like anything. If you target shoot a lot, if you hunt a lot, you got to have confidence in your gear, your skill, practice. And I have a lot of confidence in this black jig. I mean, it works every time, even when they're slow like this. I mean, how slow down? Let me catch one. Now Danny's wanting to catch one. Well, he did. He caught the first one over here, buddy. I got enough for supper. I keep at it, I'm gonna have to end up moving my fish to that back live well. Now, normally the back live well's his, so whatever he catches, he keeps. Whatever I catch and put in mine, I keep. But when it comes to me catching more, and I end up putting it in his live well, then we got to split them 50-50. Now, it will be nice on occasion. If we only catch a small handful or catch enough for supper or whatever, I'll let him have the whole thing. I can catch fish anytime. All right, let's let that thing set. Let it go down to the bottom. When these fish are shallow, it can be intense. But whenever it's like it is today, where you have to kind of cast and let it fall, it's a little harder to do. But they're there. They are there. Yeah, I mean, those are little slabs. Every one of them. Yeah. I mean, there hasn't been just maybe a couple of small ones that we've had to turn back. Now, on occasion, I do throw some fish back. You know, you got to leave some for seed. I'd hate to have to clean this whole lake out, you know. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe I missed him. That's nice. What makes it nice is these little jigs, is I don't have to stop by a bait shop. I don't have to go in there and spend $4 to $6 on 100 crickets. And then once it's over with, I'm done. All I have to do is get my box, get another jig out. There's times on these jigs, if they're not being super aggressive, I can catch, 8 to 12, maybe 14 fish on a jig. But if they're being super aggressive, usually maybe 2 or 3 good fish, and that's about it. And it's time to change bodies. But I don't mind changing bodies as long as I'm saving that. Oh, there he is. I don't know how big this one is. He doesn't feel like he's real big. Whoa! You trying to get in the boat? Hey, old Danny back there just slapped a snake with a rod and reel. Yeah, we don't allow passengers. Let me tell you something. My experience with snakes, he's just dang gum lucky I didn't have the 9mm on. Yeah, I would have unloaded that magazine on him. I have a real bad habit when I shoot at snakes like that. I unload a magazine, drop that magazine, slap in another magazine, and I'll scream, he's still moving, and I'll reach for another magazine. Of course, they keep twitching, so as long as they're twitching, I'm going to keep shooting them. I'm going to turn this boat again. I'm going to get you up in there a little bit more, see if I can let you maybe catch a fish. All right, let's see what we can do here. There's a hit. Had a good little smack there. Right. Oh man, there he was, man. He had smacked that thing. Picking up trash. A lot of leaves on the water, sticks, all kinds of trash. All right. Really nice, boy. I think this is the first time I fished this year that it's not blowing 90 miles an hour. Been the windiest and driest spring I could ever remember growing up all these years. Oh, man, that was stupid. Sitting there daydreaming. He hit that thing, and I didn't pay no attention. That was a bite that won't get on the plate. All right. Well, let's just try that again. Ooh, those fish are there. Oh man, again, 3 times. I mean, he hit that thing 3 times in there. Now I have slowed it down for him to get it. There he is. Little one. All right. Never mind. That was a big one. Got away. That thing, it was the size of this boat. He was so big, I couldn't get him in. So as a real fisherman, I turned him loose so he could grow up. Sound good anyway, didn't it? Hey, Danny's got him on, y'all. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Hey, buddy, what you got there? That's a nice fish. Yeah, check out that one, y'all. Just pulled that one in. He did good, didn't he? Yeah, I don't guess he's going to starve. Oh, dadgum. There's fish here. It's just slow. But I don't mind fish being slow as long as you're catching quality like that. Yeah, every one of them's been nice. And that makes a difference. A lot of times when we count these fish, y'all, when we go to the dock to clean them and we count them and we tell them, hey, we caught 40 or hey, we caught 30. That's how many we brought home. That's not how many we caught. A lot of times, man, we'd catch up to 100 fish, 200 fish at a time. Oh, Lord. I think this might be a red ear. If not, he's going to be one heck of a bluegill, I'm afraid. He's going right towards that boat, and I'm not making a chance of losing another phone and knocking it off in the water. Man, he hit that thing. Good night. Look what a bluegill. Golly. Look, I like him red ear. Let me tell you, if I'm catching bluegill this size, I'm happy. I was telling my wife a story last night. Imagine me telling a story. But I guess it's about, oh, maybe 6, 7 years ago. Got a friend of mine, he built a lake on his dad's farm. And went over there to go fishing. One time he said I could fish it and told me that if I caught him great big crappie, turn them loose. And I said, okay. I said, what about the smaller crappie? You know, I like the 8-inch. To me, that's a better eating fish. He says, oh, he said, you keep as many as you want of them. He says, but you're not going to do any good. Okay, well, I'll try it. So I go over there. I'm not there but an hour and had to leave. He met me at the dock and he was laughing. He goes, didn't do any good, did you? Pulled up my sack. Couldn't open up the lid. I told him, I said, you got a crappie problem. He just looked at me. He says, man, he said, I can't believe that. He says, that's just unreal. I'm like, if you got this many fish and I was only over here for an hour, you've got a problem. I said, you need to get them out because crappie will overpopulate fast. Same thing with bluegill. Unless you've got a lot of predatory fish in a lake, they'll just keep populating, and you're not going to handle size. So it wasn't about maybe 2-3 days later, I'm over there fishing. Well, I used to work for his dad. His dad was named Harold Wayne, and Harold Wayne was over there riding around on his Ranger, and he saw me in that boat. He come running over and says, "Who's out there on that lake?" I said, "Harold Wayne, it's me, Jerry." I said, "I'm out here fishing." I heard him. He goes, "Oh hell!" and he took off. I'm like, "Oh, what's going on?" A few minutes later, his son Timmy come down there and says, "Hey," he says, "Dad came up there and says, hey," he says, "I just saw that Mize boy down there fishing that lake. So you better get him out there. So he'll catch every stinking fish you got." he says, "Oh, Dad," he says, "No, you ain't kidding. So that boy, he'll catch a fish in a mud hole." But every time he'd see me, when growing up, Harold Wayne had a farm pond over there, and I spent 7 days a week at that farm pond fishing that thing. So anytime he needed me, he didn't have to call me on the phone. He knew where to catch me. And every time he'd holler at me, so I'd help him with cattle or bush hogging or hauling hay or anything like that. He'd say, "How many you got?" And I'd pull up and I'd have that sack full. He'd just shake his head. But he told him, he says, "Get that boy out." Say he'd catch fish in the mud hole. Timmy was laughing. He goes, "Dad's right." He says, "You can, can't you?" I'm like, "I don't know about that, but I said I do my share of catching." Okay. I'm going to try a green pumpkin. So now, my little tray I have up here, years ago, they used to have a thing called fish formula caddy. And that fish formula caddy used to, as a big thing back in the 80s, was have fish formula. You just squirt that on your lure and it gave it a smell. Well, this is where I keep my lures. And see, this time I got a green pumpkin. It's a green with black pepper flake in it. So we'll see what it does. I'm definitely going to try something different. We'll see what happens. At fish formula, I don't even know if they still make that stuff, do they? I haven't seen it in years. I, I've had times that sometimes when those fish are really hard that I've used that stuff, and I don't know if it's just that or if I did the jig presentation just right, but I've had times that it worked, and then I'm like, hey, I just continue using it. Oh, and I just keep catching fish. Guess what, y'all? First cast on a green pumpkin. Now, all I have used this year has been nothing but solid black on every fish. And doggone if I didn't catch one. Look at that. Not real big, little female. I'm going to turn her loose because she does have eggs in her. I want her to have some more for future generation of fish on my plate. So there was one day, I was fishing across the lake, me and my dad. We was fishing for crappie. Both of us using the same jig, same pole, same line, everything the same. Didn't change anything. The only thing difference I was doing was I was squirting some of that fish formula on my jig. And man, I was catching slabs. My dad, he was getting frustrated. He says, "What are you doing different?" I said, "Well, I'm using this fish formula." He goes, "Oh," he said, "that stuff don't work." I said, "You're using the same jig, same pole, same line, fishing the same spot." I said, "Something's working." So he handed me that pole or hand me his jig. He said, "Here," he said, "put some on mine." I put some on there, and doggone if he didn't start catching fish. I was like, hey, it works. That guy, one time he asked me that story. He goes, "Hey," he says, "so you have fish formula?" He says, "You think fish smell?" I said, "Well, I know they do." He said, "Leave one in your live well for a couple of weeks and see what happens." You go, yeah, you're right. All right, come on now. There he is. Okay. Proof is that we've been using black for the last, what, 3, 4 weeks. I've caught tons of fish. I decided to change and try a green pumpkin. This thing's working. Now, this green pumpkin I've got here, it's just a prototype lure. It's just one I decided, hey, I was bored and said, let's make it. I'm catching fish on it. I've got that whole compartment full of them in there. Yeah, and I've got different colors in it. I've got brown, I've got orange and brown. I really think that orange and brown, I think that would be a hot item. Looks more like a crawdad. But again, like I said, I've always used black because I feel alive well up with them. This is the first time I've ever tried a different color on them. I really think a white would work well. You know, it looks like a maggot. So we'll see. There's fish here. They're just real slow. I just think it's just because there's the water's so much deeper now. Yeah, got a lot out of here. Now, since the water has come up a lot, that overhead, what color you want? Oh, hold on. Oh my goodness. Y'all just seen me adjust that drag a little bit. That's a nice fish. Look at that, would you? All right. I'm gonna get him a new body. Did you lose that body or did you keep it? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna keep all them bodies from now on. You know, usually I just throw them away like an idiot. I'm like, well, why should I throw them away if I can melt them down and make jigs out of them? So I got that thing full. That thing's full of those jigs I make. Then I've got this thing full. Any color you want, pick out something.
I like that one you can fish.
Yeah, green pumpkin looked pretty good to me. Oh, dang. I didn't know I had these. Look at this. There's a whole bunch more. Hey, try that black and yellow. You see it in there? Is there any black and yellow in that box? Yeah. I bet that'd be a hot. That I made the black and yellow. I think I made a blue and white. If not, I'm not mistaken. I also think I have green and yellow, black and yellow, blue and white, something else. I just think that that'd be a good color to try. Like I said, that brown and orange, I don't have many of those because that was just one I wanted to play with, just see if they'd work. Anyway, they're working. I just don't want to, tell people that, hey, the only color there is black. Like, but quite honest with you, that's the only color I ever use most of the time. Yeah, it always works. I mean, no matter what the water clarity is, or if it's muddy, or it always works. But evidence is that I've showed y'all I'm using a green pumpkin today. I tried a totally different color, and I'm getting just as many hits as if I threw that black in. So I'm telling you, it's something to do with the way the body of that jig is designed and the way it pulls through that water. I don't. It's just really hard to explain how it works. Now I tinkered with that when I was a kid and started playing with it because, you know, I had used a lot of curly tail jigs growing up as a kid and never could really find what I liked. And I just thought I'd play around with it and try something different. Now, one thing y'all might want to try too when you're fishing like this, when you catch large numbers of fish out of a bluegill hole and you think you're done, and the main reason why we left that other spot is I knew that more than likely we'd have more action here. I wanted to give y'all, let y'all see a good show of catching fish. But a lot of times, just by changing to a different color, you may end up triggering strikes that you didn't trigger with the color that you had on there already. So sometimes you just have to kind of play with it. And it depends on, there he is. Mainly depends on what kind of mood you're in. Oh man. Oh man, what I got here. Come on, Big Daddy. Oh, red ear. And not a great big red ear. And of course, you know, I've caught red ear that big. I mean, he's not a great big red ear. He's more like a hybrid, a mix between a bluegill and red ear. Regardless, I'm going to eat him. I know I'm going to get people saying, why didn't you turn it loose? Let it grow up. Like, well, if you caught him, you could have turned him loose. I caught him. I'm going to eat him. Days of me just turning fish loose when I go fishing are gone. You can catch and release all you want. I'm out here to have fun. There he is. On a green pumpkin of all things. Can you believe that? Nope. Lost him. That looked like somebody's fishing line. All right. Oh, daggum. Mm-mm-mm-mm. That felt like a good fish there. Believe or not, I lost him anyway. I was sitting there, I picked up a leaf and started twitching it, and one grabbed it. Let me get Danny back up there, kind of pulled off a little bit. And Danny, did you get out a couple of jigs or just that one? Oh, heck, you should have got out several. Play with it. Most of those are prototype jigs. I've just made them just to see if they would work. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever used the green pumpkin. I've never used another color. And a lot of times when these bluegill are on the bed, it don't matter what color you throw. I mean, they're going to hit it. I'm going to swing this boat this way, Danny, to get you in there. I'm going to try to take that boat towards that tip, get you up in here and let you try to work that thing a little bit there at that other edge of that dock. Definitely fish here. There he is. He smacked it. Can you get to it okay? If you're having trouble getting that longer cast, grab that little longer rod. Should be able to get a little bit more distance with that little longer rod. Of course, these little rods here, mine, and you picked one up, didn't you? Off that black and yellow. Like I said, these are just jigs, colors I just decided just to make for the fun of it. And doggone if he didn't pick up, you got a nice bluegill. Yeah, got a keeper. I have used these jigs and even fished areas like this. Watch people pull in here, fish this same spot with live bait and work it over, and then I have come back behind them and picked up fish that they lost. One time I had my wife with me, and we came up to a spot, and this one spot, I'm not kidding you. The problem was people was watching me fish it a lot, and this one couple kept watching me fish that thing and saw that I was catching fish. Well, the very next day they were in it. Pulled up there. I said, let's go someplace else. She got mad because she wanted to fish it. She's like, well, that just makes me mad. They're in our spot. I'm like, don't worry about it. I said, we'll come back. I said, we'll catch what they miss. Oh, I said, they'll catch every one of them out of there. I said, no. So we went to another spot. Of course, done had a live well full. I said, let's pull in there and see what's in there. We caught 175 that day. I mean, that's with what I already had in the boat. But we picked up that many more. I don't know how many we ended up with before we went over there. But it was just like, it just pulled in there, use these jigs. Oh man, I was never so tired of filleting in my life that I was that day. That's just way too many fish at one time. And it was a lot of work to fillet them, a lot of work to put them up. I mean, but I sure enjoyed eating them. There he is. Yep, there he is. Off that green pumpkin, man. I cannot believe that. Totally different color than what we were using a while ago. Totally different. I think once he wears this green pumpkin out, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to put on a white one. I'm going to go completely to the other end of the spectrum. Now, I will tell you my experience in the past, if I'm fishing areas such as backwater sloughs that have cypress trees, I found that any kind of yellow, black and yellow, green and yellow, green and white, those colors are prime. Ponds, oh man, let me tell you something about a pond. If you're going to fish a pond, yellow jig, man. That's the first color I go with is a yellow jig. Always done good off of yellow in ponds. Just a first guess, you know. Now, growing up as a kid, there wasn't many soft plastic lures out at that time. Most jigs you could find were hair jigs. And I had a lot of those little yellow hair jigs and white hair jigs. But man, when they come out with these curly tails and then I started messing around with these little grubs, these things they just work. I don't know. I have tried to work it out, y'all. You know, I've been selling a couple of these, mostly, you know, at the docks, you know, but you get 20 bodies for $5. I do sell the lead head in 5 bodies. You get 5 lead heads and 5 bodies for $5. I highly recommend if you're going to buy, just buy the bodies. You can buy the lead heads anywhere. The only problem is yeah, they're $5, not very expensive. It's a stinking shipping and handling. I can't get it any cheaper than $8. It's terrible. But I have to add the shipping and handling. So if you pay $5, it's $13 by the time you pay shipping and handling. Stupid. Shouldn't be that high. You know, how much handling do you have to do with a soft plastic jig? I mean, come on. There's no weight to it. There he is. They are hitting that green pumpkin. Can you believe that? It's like, Man, I've got brown pumpkin in there too. I've got brown pumpkins. They just, I played around with all those different colors just to see what happens. But that thing, it's just staying right in there. There's no telling how many fish I've caught off that thing so far. I'm counting to about 5 to kind of let that thing get down there to that bottom. And I just been kind of dragging it a little bit. Every so often, I just kind of twitch it just a hair. Like I said, they're down there deep. Taking a little bit more effort to pull them out. Turn this boat again. Trying to keep Danny in those fish. Before we move to another spot, there, he's got another one on that black and yellow. These things work, man. I don't know why. There he is. Double. Oh, man. This one's pulling, buddy. If this here's a little bitty 1-inch fish, I'm going to crap. It ain't. Look what a female. Look at that thing. Yeah. Well, normally I turn those females loose, but one this size. I don't know. Let me look in there. Yeah, I'm going to. That's a big fish just to be turning loose. She liked that green and yellow. Problem is she swallowed the jig, so if I can get that out without hurting her, I will turn her loose. Come on. You gotta let go of it. You're bound and determined to keep that jig, aren't you? There it is. All right. That thing. That is a big female. She is just loaded. All right. I think I might be able to get one more fish on this jig before I have to change. I think that's something. I can't believe that's working. I really can't. I've had so much confidence in that black. And y'all won't believe this either. I have a box full of nothing but black. I'm talking, that's all I've got in that one box is black. These little black jigs. That's how much confidence I have in that black. Um, Fortunately, I think they're changing my mind today. I guess it really matters. As soon as I get out here and start tinkering, okay, I got to change lures. As soon as I get out here and start tinkering and start playing with the crappie, I just haven't really, as long as these fish are biting like this, I don't even want to mess with crappie. I love crappie. I love eating them. But as long as I'm catching these big bluegill, I just can't turn that down. Did I leave that jig box out?
The one's right
Huh?
here. The one's right here.
Is it out? Okay, that's what I want.
Big one?
Yeah. There's all kinds of colors in that thing, isn't it? I mean, look at that thing. I actually went out and bought this thing brand new, this brand new box. Okay, y'all. Now there's a brown pumpkin. And I've got 2 different kinds of green pumpkin. The light green is what I used just a minute ago. I also have a dark green pumpkin. Try that. Let's change flavors. Let's try purple. Well, or grape. That's a grape. That is purple. Look at how purple that is. I'm going to try purple. Why not? Let's just see what it does. Now, a lot of times when I used to fish tournaments, And I was having a hard time catching fish. My favorite lure on the planet is an 8-inch Mann's jelly worm in grape. I have so much confidence in that thing, I always catch fish on it. If I don't catch fish, I'll do nothing else. Is it me or is that wind blowing us? Sure is. Okay, let me get this trolling motor back up there. Tangled up. Okay. That wind kind of blew us off course a little bit, so we're going to get back up here. Try it again. All right. I have to watch too on how much filming I'm doing. I didn't realize how much juice it takes on that battery. The thing I learned is that mic transmitter I have on the bottom of this phone, I actually have a place I can plug a charger cord to it. Then I can plug it up in the boat. So I may end up having to do that here in a few minutes. There he is, off grape. Can you believe that? Off of a totally different color than what we've been using. I am not kidding you. Another big female just full of eggs. That is a real good sign. That means that these fish are starting to move in. The only sign I don't like is I don't like the way that they're swallowing it. But I was able to safely remove that off of a grape out of all colors. I cannot believe this. My go-to lure has always been that black. I almost think that it's changed my mind totally now. Cannot believe this. Kind of wish that other spot we were at to change different colors now instead of leaving. But there was a lot of trash over there. All right. So I've got my buddy Danny fishing with me today. Tomorrow I'm going to be trying to film a little bit. Tomorrow I got another guy that's going to fish with it. His name's CJ. He was my neighbor for several years over at the house, and he's going to be fishing with me tomorrow. I'm going to try to get some footage of us fishing too. We'll see what happens. There he is. He had moved a couple of years ago. Oh, this is not heavy fish. Nice. And we hadn't fished in several years, so I said, well, it'll be a good time to bring him. And we got doubles again, y'all. Can you believe this mess? Neither one of us have, I mean, he's got a black and yellow on, but it's a different color. I mean, here we are. We got. Come on. Hey, it's a keeper. It sure is. I'll tell you what I'm going to have to do, Danny. I'm going to have to end up getting that net out. I'm going to have to transfer these fish to that live well, I think. Yeah, mine's getting really full up here. And that live well's so much bigger. It's twice the size of this front live well. Let me tell you something. You get that live well back there full and you can't see the bottom of it, you're in trouble. All right. I guess that grape's as close to black as you can get, but I mean, it's not as much grape as it is purple. I mean, look how purple that thing is. Yeah, it's just as purple. Yeah, it's same color. Yeah, I took those Mann's worms, the most deadliest. I've got a whole box full of them man's worms. Yeah, I do. I do. I used to have all 6-inch, but whenever I started fishing tournaments, I found that the 8-inch worm worked better. I caught more and more quality fish on the 8-inch worm. They are, ooh. Of course, I think I've only got them in the black or grape. I don't think I've got them in any other color. There he is. Can't believe these things like that grape color. That green pumpkin. Just can't get over this. Almost every one of them swallowing the hook on me. You notice that? I think it's that deeper water, and they're just inhaling it. Thing's so loud, I think I just peed on myself. Dadgum. I hate those things.
Louder.
They're loud. I don't know why they have to be that loud for. Well, y'all, I think I'm going to have to change jigs. He done tore that grape up. I'm going to have you open up your live well, Danny. I'm going to toss this one in there. Look at that.
That'd be good for something.
Yep. Turn that lid around. I knew that'd work good. He's going to be my official live well opener now. Say he'd been there before. My other boats in the past had those live wells like that. Okay. So now that fish just totally tore that purple one up. So I'm trying to brown and pumpkin. Another. I'm talking. Okay. There's evidence. That's a brown and pumpkin. Let's see what we've got here. What time is it? It's 4:20. I don't care. I don't care if it's midnight. If I'm catching fish like this, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving if I'm catching fish. I'm going to try the deeper water first before we move in. We kind of drifted off a little bit. I'm going to actually make a swing out and come back in. Where we're at right now, where the trolling motor is 7 foot, where you're at, it's 12 foot. So it is kind of odd how much of a step this is, but this is just a good spot. I just think I was going to make a trip across the lake. I was going to go fish some areas I hadn't fished in years, and it's a perfect day for it. But then we pulled up in here, and it's like, well, why waste the gas if I'm catching fish here? Just doesn't make sense. All right, let me turn the boat for you, buddy. See what this brown pumpkin does. That brown pumpkin to me looks more like a cricket color. Yeah. Now, of course, you know, you got your black cricket and you got your brown cricket, which most of the time, if you're catching wild crickets out, they're black. But these brown domesticated crickets they use for bait are brown. So, I mean, there's a good possibility this could look like that. Plus, it looks more like earthworm color as well. So, it could be a hot item. We'll see here. Can't hurt to try it. Try a totally different one. I was going to try white and just see. Oh! Well, without doubt, one hit it. One hit it. What color do you have on there now? That black and yellow. Oh my gosh. Well, y'all, I just caught a big bluegill. Look at that on a brown. I'm talking every color I've thrown in there. They have hit. Now that's not saying that. Now these fish aren't spawning yet. They're not even on the beds good yet. And you can just see, you know, if they were, it would be every cast we were catching fish. But I've changed different colors every time I've done this. What color are you going to try now? There's a bunch of them there. I actually have another box with different colors in it too. I have one that that pumpkin looks good, doesn't it? Oh, I actually had two different style of pumpkin in there. One of them ended up being darker than the other. See, it's really going to... Oh, I got him. I got him. I sure did. Can you look at that mess? Look at that. Got another one. I bet there's 30, 40 fish in this live well up here. What color did you put on? There's one color. I don't know what color you call it that I made. Yeah, it's a brown pumpkin there. It's so ugly. It looked like Walt Disney threw up. I mean, it's like a ugly, dark gray, greenish gray color. And I mean, it has every kind of metal flake there is in it. Just ugly. But back whenever I was working on these lures, I was tinkering with a lot of that metal flake, you know. Man, when you mess with that glitter, it gets everywhere. Oh my gosh. And dummy me didn't even think about it. I was sitting there using that glitter underneath the ceiling fan. Guess where it went? I opened it up, it went everywhere. So the next day I had to go to work. Well, I wore my bib overalls to work that day. One of my patients looked at me and he goes, son, he says, you realize you got sparkles all over you? He says, you've got glitter everywhere. I said, yeah. I said, I know. I said, it's my part-time job. He says, what do you do part-time? Said, I'm a pole dancer. Said, my name's Sparkles. I thought he was going to die laughing. Yeah, just like, up. So might as well use it to my advantage, you know. Yeah. I told him, I said, yeah, I said, usually I wear my bib overalls to work. I said, that's what I use. I said, it's easier to get the straps off. Oh, that was a good hit. Man, that was a good hit. So a lot of these lures that I've made, they're just more of a trial and error, you know, just to see how they work. There's one in there that's blood red. Did you see it? Oh, man. I mean, it's just as blood red as it can be. Ooh, this one's got some weight to him. Oh, yeah. Come on, Big Daddy. Man. Oh, Lord have mercy. Look what a bluegill, man. Look at that thing. Golly, look at that thing. Off of a totally different color. I mean, it is, I can't. If I was doing a commercial for these jigs right now, that would be one heck of a commercial, wouldn't it? It's like, it's just every fish. I can't. Now, see, when you get in, I'm going to turn this boat again and see if I can get you back up there. Try it again. Any hits? Man, we pulled out a lot of fish out of this spot. Thing about it is we still haven't fished over there yet. And I still got 4 more spots in here to hit yet. All right, I'm going to turn this. I'm going to get you up there and see what you can do with that jig. We'll see what happens. Out of all things, I didn't really expect to do any kind of experimentation with these things today. I basically just wanted to get out and catch fish and let you have a good time too, you know. There he is. Can you believe that, miss? Oh my gosh, this is so much fun. Oh man. All right, folks. It is. I'm gonna give this thing a rest a little bit. I gotta plug that phone in. I'm gonna have to let it charge a little bit and hopefully get you some more footage. So y'all have fun. Thanks a lot. God bless. We'll see you soon.